Hello, and welcome to the Motivation with Me podcast episode 2. Thank you to all of my listeners, and I'm glad to have you here on the podcast. So, today we're going to talk about everybody isn't you. We set expectations for people and we expect for everybody to be us, but we have got to understand everybody is not who we are as a person. You are your own person. Excuse me, girl. I'm gonna need you to clear that up before you get on the podcast. But we have to understand that everybody is not us. The things that you would do, the things that you would say, the person that you are, you cannot expect everybody to be you. And I came across this thought because somebody did something and I was like, I wouldn't do that. Like, why are you doing that? Because I would do the opposite. And I had to tell myself that person isn't me. Everybody isn't me. So everybody may not have the heart that I have. Everybody may not have the charisma that I have. Everybody might not have the humor that I have. I am my own person. I am elements of me. I am Miranda Evans. I have multiple elements to me. And I can be the nicest, meanest person you have ever met. Okay, yeah, I said it. I can be the nicest, meanest person you ever met. That's who I am. That's me. As me, I am she. But nevertheless, oh, sorry. I tend to say nevertheless a lot. But and if I repeat words, it's because I'm really trying not to cuss. Yeah. Yeah, the Lord's still working on me. It's tough. Give me some time. Give me some time. Practice makes perfect. Again, everybody ain't me. I cuss like a sailor, but everybody don't. I have friends who do not cuss. Do you understand? So we have got to understand that everybody is not who we are. So don't set expectations for people because you set expectations and you expect for people to be a certain person or do certain things and then you're disappointed. Me personally, I do not set expectations for people. And unfortunately or fortunately, it's a good and bad thing. My expectations for people is very low. But again, that comes with what I said in the previous episode is because I'm analytical and I don't like being caught off guard. And I tend to expect the worst out of a situation because when the worst happens, I want to be prepared. And again, that's a good and bad thing because you don't want to expect the worst. You obviously want to have a positive mindset, which I do. I'm just also a rational person. So I don't have expectations or high expectations for people because I don't like being caught off guard if something happens. Now, one thing that I do that I recommend that you do is take inventory of the people that are in your life. What kind of expectations can you set for that person based on who they are, who they were, the experiences that you've had with this person? That is how I set expectations. So I know what I can expect from one friend, I might not can expect from another friend. And that's not to say it's a bad thing. It's just that I have different expectations for different people. I know who I can call when I want to ride on some fools. When I want to pull up, hop out, I know who to call. When I want to do something professional, I know who to call. Who you gonna call? Okay, let me stop. Can you get through an episode without a joke? Nope, it's not happening. So I know who to call. I know who to expect things from. And so you have to take inventory of people that are in your life. Like, what can you expect? Like, I'm a person that writes everything down. So whether you write it down, whether you think about it, think about all the people in your life, even if you have to list them. And one thing I do, so I did a journal prompt where it had me put pictures of all my friends in a tablet. And so I wrote down all the things that I love about them and everything I hope for our relationship. And it was actually very interesting because it allowed me to realize how different all my friends are. I love them all, but they are all very different. And none of them are like me. Nobody is like you. You're your own person. You have your own identity. It's like everybody have different fingerprints. Even twins are not the same. So that's what I want you to do. So take a moment and do that. And while you're doing that, let's get to this. Okay, so one thing that I love to do is shout out black businesses. I love black businesses. I get all my stuff from black businesses. Black businesses is life. Black people are life. We are life. We are everything. We are power. So today's black business, not only are we supporting a black business, but we are supporting a youth business. Do you understand? Yes, God. So we are going to highlight Clara Blanche Calligraphy Designs. They make custom cards, custom bookmarks, and I use them faithfully. I love them. And that's Clara Blanche, Clara. Blanche is Blanche, Calligraphy Designs. And you can follow them on Instagram at Clara Blanche Calligraphy. Make sure you follow them, make sure you love on them, make sure you order from them. I love it. Again, this is not only a black business, this is a youth business. You can send them a direct message if you would like to order custom cards, custom bookmarks. Again, I no longer go and buy thank you cards. Buy for what? No, no, I'm Clara Blanche all day. Okay, so shout out to them. And again, make sure you follow Clara Blanche Calligraphy on Instagram. Okay, so we are back. And again, I assigned homework. That was your homework. You can do it now, you can do it later, preferably later after you finish listening to my voice. But again, make sure you understand that everybody is not you. I know that everybody is not Miranda. Whoever you are, whoever's listening, again, understand that people are different. What you may do, somebody else might not do. And you also, with that, have to evaluate the people that are in your life. That's why I said take inventory of the people that are in your life because you have to evaluate them. You have to determine, like, is this person good for me? Is this person toxic? Because we are not doing toxic. And I'm gonna get on that in another podcast. But we don't do toxic. We remove negative energy. So if somebody is bringing negative energy into your life, then I strongly recommend that you get rid of that person. And I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's friends, I don't care who it is. Sometimes, like my grandma used to say, you got to feed people with a long handle spoon because we have this notion that, especially with family, since somebody is family, we automatically have to have them in our lives. We automatically have to be close to them. No, that is not true. Sometimes you need a break from people. Sometimes if somebody is bringing toxic energy and creating a toxic environment for you, then you have to distance yourself from that person and from that situation. And it's up to you to determine what toxic is, if that person is toxic, and how are you going to go about separating yourself from that? How are you going to go about separating yourself from that person or from that environment? Me personally, I'm blunt. You gonna get one or two things from me. Either you gonna get blunt or you gonna get nothing. I tend to go ghost like Casper. I will literally go ghost on somebody and you try to call me, try to text me, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I ain't gonna be able to do it. Nah, pimp, you gonna have to go ahead and move around. So I tend to have one or two. You gonna get one or two from me. Okay. And hopefully you get two where I just go ghost instead of being blunt. It depends on who the person is, it depends on the situation. Now, again, I don't want to be a bad influence, so I'm gonna say don't be blunt about it. But again, it depends on the situation. Depends on if that person has wronged you and to what level did they wrong you. Because somebody just sometimes people just gotta hear it. Sometimes you have to tell people about themselves because somebody got to do it. And if this person is your quote unquote friend, then you definitely need to tell them, like, you don't have to be mean about it. Like, hey, this is how I feel. This is the issue that I have. And I think we should just like kind of take a break from each other. And it could be that toxic dude you're talking to, it could be that toxic woman that you're talking to, it could be a friend, it could be a family member. Because when we hear, I think we need to take a break or I think we need to separate from each other, we automatically go to relationships. And that is not always the case. Sometimes we have to do it when in a way that where it doesn't matter who it is. That's not a relationship thing. Let's take a break is not always love relationships, I should say. Let me be more specific. Love relationships. Relationships, significant other relationships. Sometimes you gotta say, look, let's take a break from your mama, from your daddy, from your cousin, from your grandma, from your best friend, from a regular friend to an associate. I don't care who it is, a coworker, your supervisor. Look, I know everybody wanna take a break from their supervisor unless you just got a nice supervisor, which actually my supervisor I love my supervisors. I love all my coworkers. I actually have some really good coworkers. I do not expose where I live. I mean, sorry. Well, I definitely don't expose where I live. That's for sure not happening. But I don't expose where I work, and there's reasons for that. But whether it's someone that's close to you or somebody that's not as close to you, it doesn't matter the relationship, it matters the energy. The energy is what matters. The environment is what matters. That's the part that you have to evaluate. And while you're at it, evaluate yourself because you have to think about the things that you've done in a relationship. Again, let me clear my throat. So I have a thing where on YouTube, I do that. So every time I clear my throat, y'all are definitely gonna hear me sing that little part. Just letting y'all know. Again, it's who I am. Everybody's not me. Get it? Me. You know what? I just want to shout out my mama for naming me Miranda Evans. Like it is really working for my brand and my lame jokes. But again, I'm gonna keep saying again because again, I want you to listen to what I'm saying again and again and again. I want it to like really be burned into your brain. Did you get? Is it burned in it? Is it sticking? I need it to stick like Gorilla Glue. I need it to stick like Gorilla Glue. I need it to stick like nail glue. I need it. Let me stop. Okay, I'm gonna be serious one day, y'all. I promise. But anyway, you have to evaluate yourself as well. Okay. Uh-huh. You didn't think I was gonna tell you to do that. Sometimes you gotta evaluate. Am I the problem? Recognize your problems. Like, for example, in relationships, I've every one of my relationships has been a fail. That's why I've been single for so long. We're gonna get on relationships and celibacy and sex and stuff like that. Yes, we're gonna talk about sex because we're adults here. I hope. No children allowed. Okay, it's not explicit, but yeah. So make sure you understand like one thing I had to do was realize what my faults were in the relationship. For example, I'm not an affectionate person. That has always been a problem that I've had because I didn't grow up with affection, so I didn't really know affection, and I still don't know it. Um, and it's not even the affection part, it's initiating affection. And that has been a problem in all of my relationships is initiating affection. Like I'm the type of person that you gonna come in and I'll be like, oh, what up, homie? Instead of embracing you and giving you a hug. And some people love language is physical touch. But I struggle with that, and I have to recognize that, like, that is my flaw. So not only do we have to recognize everybody else's flaws, but we have to take inventory on ourselves and what our flaws are. So again, the yes, I said again. But at the end of the day, I want you to know that the most important message is everybody is not you. You are your own person. Okay, that is the message for today. And with that being said, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Elements of Me Motivation. Follow me on Instagram at Elements of Me. I'm on Facebook at Miranda Motivates. All of that. All of that, especially the subscribing on my YouTube channel part. Go ahead and do that for me. So until the next episode, I should say. I will see y'all or talk to y'all. See, I'm so used to YouTube. That's why I say I will see y'all. So let me switch it up. Let me switch it up. I will talk to y'all in the next episode.